Drew. I've seen a lot of movies.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Joe.
And we haven't seen nearly as many movies as Drew has.
That's right. So this is a movie podcast where me and my friends Joe and Brian here.
That was us. Yeah.
Yeah. We watch a bunch of movies that are important to pop culture or even film in general. And before we watch these movies that Brian and Joe have never seen, or have at least not seen in a very long time that they don't remember what the movie's about, I make them guess what they think the plot is of the film, based only what they know from the deepest crevices of their memories and pop culture references. So,
and brainwashing, stuff like that.
Essentially. Are you guys ready for today's movie?
Yes.
Awesome. Today, we are going to watch something a little bit special.
Ooh.
Today, we are actually watching Kevin Smith's first film, Clerks. This is from 1994, so it's on its 25th anniversary.
94.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what were you guys born this year?
Yeah, this is our second movie in a row, consecutively now,
Yes.
where we
So
were
we-
alive when this movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this might have come out prior to your actual birth, but still. Were you right?
93.
93. Okay. I thought you were
92.
94s. Okay. Better. Good. Okay, cool. So I want to point out one thing about this movie without going into any plot details, because again, the whole point is for you to guess. One of the reasons that this movie is so impactful and why we're watching it is that as Steven Spielberg made us believe that dinosaurs were real, Kevin Smith's first movie, Clerks, made anyone who ever wanted to be in a movie, make a movie, made you feel like you could do it. Kevin Smith did this on a shoestring budget.
Okay,
He was inspired
cool.
by a few other people. This was the early to mid 90s when the movement of the independent film really started to hit hard. So there were a handful of other very influential indie films that had come out. We have one on our list to watch later down the line called Slacker. It's Richard Linklater's first movie. That came out and really inspired Smith with Clerks.
Cool.
Robert Rodriguez had done El Mariachi. And movie just started randomly.
Oops.
We can just trim that. But Rodriguez did El Mariachi, again, another shoestring budget film. And these movies inspired Kevin Smith, who was literally working a day job that any one of us could have and probably may have even done in our lives, and just said, I want to write a movie. And he made a film. So this is one of those movies that just the fact that you saw this and you're like, holy shit, I can do this. I can make a movie if I want to. Now, none of us did, but I mean, that was one of the most inspiring. I think I can safely say he's probably one of the most inspiring filmmakers for anyone who wanted to do an independent film. To know that it's actually possible. He brought this to Sundance. He sold this at Sundance for enough money to repay all of the credit cards he maxed out, have a little cash in his pocket, and also get a job for his next movie. Wow. So
cool.
This is like the story of somebody who started from the ground, made it somewhere. Awesome. It's really cool and inspiring.
Very
and the movie's
cool.
not half bad itself. Cool. So that's my little spiel here about Kevin Smith and Clerks. He's gone on to do many different things. Like him or not, he is one of the more, I would say, inspiring storytellers in Hollywood today. So, guys, Clerks. That's the title of this film, Clerks with a period at the end.
Okay.
What do you guys think Clerks is about?
I have no idea, but I think I've seen a scene from Clerks. I think there's a sequel to Clerks 2.
You were just saying that because earlier today I said Clerks 1?
Oh, is that what? Well, no. I didn't. I don't remember that, but
I definitely thought we were watching the 10th one.
Yes, this is the
Clerks
10th anniversary copy, not the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy. They just never stop making them.
So I think there's a scene when they work at like a fast food place, I think. I think there are two guys who work at a fast food place.
Called Goodburger.
And they rival Mondo Burger, and there's this big thing with Mondo Burger injecting, hormones into their beef and stuff.
Right.
I'm getting all this. Don't worry.
Okay.
And they wear they wear like blue and yellow striped outfits. That's one of my predictions.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a counter prediction. I feel like this movie's in black and white, or at least a portion of it.
Oh.
It might sort of be like a Wizard of Oz type thing, where it like starts in black and white and then brings us to color at a certain point.
Oh, okay.
But I have a feeling that this one's in black and white, at least a portion of it.
Let's go through like setting plots. So I'm gonna guess 1994. It takes place in 1994.
Yeah, I think it takes place present day from when the movie was being made.
And I don't know, some town, some no-name town, not like L.A. or New York or Boston, just like some like
smaller town.
Yeah, and
it's definitely not a city.
Cool.
Oh god, what is it about? Okay, so the scene I was going to talk about was I feel like I've seen a scene where one of them is holding up an onion ring, and they're like the one ring to rule them all, kind of like in Lord of the Rings. So
well, that makes sense because Kevin Smith is like I'm not super familiar with everything that he's done, but I know that he's like huge into comic book and like
pop culture in general.
But a lot of like the nerdy stuff. So I think we'll probably see a lot of references to Lord of the Rings, probably books, Star Wars,
Marvel,
probably Star Trek. Definitely some Marvel stuff too.
Kevin Smith actually owns his own comic book shop in his hometown.
That's cool.
Which I've been to, and it's amazing. Kevin Smith.
Thanks for coming here today, Kevin.
He doesn't have a microphone.
It's really weird that we're watching this with you. But.
Thumbs up? Okay, cool.
And a comedy. We think it's a comedy, right? Do you think it's a comedy?
Yeah, I mean, it might be like a dark comedy.
Oh, like Pineapple Express?
I don't think I've seen that one. Is that a dark comedy?
It's like a comedy, but it's like
it's a Seth Rogen comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an action dark. Yeah, I would call it a dark comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. It's kind of a dark comedy, sure. Yeah. But
so,
let's get to Clerks.
I can see Clerks being a dark comedy, like
it's funny, but it's also like uncomfortable at times.
Oh, okay.
That's sort of what I was thinking. Like maybe a little bit depressing.
Okay. Do you think there's like crime involved?
Ooh, maybe the store gets they're clerks at a thing. I don't know if it's fast food. I think maybe they like get fast food or something.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like
it's like a convenience store, like a clerk. You're not normally like a clerk at a fast food place.
I was just gonna say, like, what defines a clerk? I guess it's behind like a counter at a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a 7-Eleven place where they have
have some food, but not
they have like fries and hot dogs.
Yeah.
And
they would have
gas station type food.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're going with the gas station, convenience store kind of place.
That's our setting. Who are characters?
2 main characters, 2 male main characters. That's my guess.
Okay. And I think Kevin Smith has got to be one of them.
Yep.
I think like the low budget, like you're gonna act in your own thing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened?
So let me make sure I got that right. Kevin Smith is one of the main characters.
He's one of the 2 clerks.
One of the 2 clerks. Cool.
Yep.
And so what's the driving story?
Yeah.
Because like,
it could be, it could be as simple as like, they want to move on from just being clerks in life. Kind of like how, he
sort of like a coming of age film, but not necessarily not like age, but it's like, I want to grow into something. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm a clerk. I didn't want to be a clerk as a living.
Okay.
I don't know.
That seems like a depressing comedy.
And then they find that that's really where they belong the whole time.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's why there's Clerks too.
If there's Clerks too.
Because there's still Clerks.
No, there's definitely Clerks too. Yeah, there have to be Clerks and Clerks too.
Would they? Maybe.
They're at a much nicer convenience store in the second one. They've really moved up in the world.
Okay.
They're on the north side of town.
It's like a Wawa.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Wawa is, it's the best convenience gas station store of New Jersey. And New York, I think. I think they're in New York, too.
It's funny, because I will tell you, this movie does take place in New Jersey.
Ah, here we go. All
so
right.
maybe Wawa is somehow involved.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, maybe that's the store.
Or that's what they want to work at. That's what they like
they keep getting their resumes rejected from the... Damn it!
They like aspire to be like the Wawa clerks.
What am I doing wrong?
Okay, so it's either like a I want to move on in life, or it's like something dramatic happens, like a crime in their store, and they want to like find the guy because maybe they're like found. Maybe they're like the primary suspects, and they're like, no, like I saw it happen. It was this guy, and they're trying to. Prove.
I'm trying to think because like I like the coming of age. I think that it could be like the whole thing takes place just in this store, and
cool.
we go that whole route.
Oh yeah.
Or it's like being like the comic book fan that he is, they have to become like detectives. Like this robbery happens and they go on like a wacky adventure to try to like hunt down the person who stole something important from the store. And maybe it's not even from the store, but it's from their personal like these two clerks like working on a specific day together because they get to like read comic books together or something.
Yeah.
And they're geeking out and like they get sacred plastic wrapped comic book stolen from them, so it's not any like hunting down for the store but for themselves.
I can totally
and they have to
see
go
that.
like find out who took the first edition of whatever comic book that they have.
I can totally see that. Now I feel like Drew mentioning that it was like very independent and they didn't have, it was like a shoestring budget, that makes me think it really does just take place in the store, like the whole movie. Oh man, but that would be hard to pull off though.
It might be hard to pull off, and how would they keep it interesting?
Yeah, exactly. Like how would
I don't know. We might just have to find out, guys. Do you have any last guesses? Or do you want to dive right in?
One guess is I think they're still going to be clerks at the end of the movie. I don't think they're going to have moved on from being clerks. That's one of my guesses.
I think someone, whether true or not, like has superpowers, or like someone thinks that someone has secret superpowers or something like that, or they just like hint or joke about it, but like in some way they'll reference like an individual having an actual power.
Like it's actually sci-fi, like superpowers exist in this movie, or like stop thinking you can.
It's up to the imagination
shoot lasers
of
out
for
of
sure.
your eyes. Okay,
like you're not going to see a superpower thing happen, but like it could be like something that's reasonably explained, but they don't, and so it sort of leaves you hanging.
Okay,
Awesome.
I gotcha.
I love it, guys. All right, I'm really excited and happy to show you this. So, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's dive in.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. We're going to watch Clerks.
Oh, shoot. It's black and white. The first scene is black and white.
Oh.
You're right, Brian.
Can't wait till the wizard shows up.
Dante.
It's a very dedicated employee.
So, this is a fun plot device. Because they filmed this in this convenience store at nighttime only, that's why the things are down. So he wanted to show the story that it's during the day, but he filmed all at nighttime. So these exterior shots are daytime shots, but inside is all like 10 p.m.
Dark.
around.
Okay.
It's Kevin Smith.
That is Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is Silent Bob. Brian, you were right to some degree. Kevin Smith wrote this movie and wanted to be in it, and at the last minute realized he could not remember the dialogue. So he gave the part away to Brian O'Halloran, who plays Dante, but he wanted to be in the movie.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
Hey, where you go?
Randall is actually based on his friend Brian Johnson, who worked with him in the convenience store. He's like a pitcher Like, that's how Brian Johnson was with the customers. Did you guys ever see a show called Comic Book Men on AMC?
Yes, I'd like to check
No.
on this print today's
It was his buddies at his shop.
edition.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. Like Brian Johnson would literally do this, like work at the video store next door, lock up to go talk to Kevin Smith. Like,
The Empire Strikes Back.
Talking about
Yeah.
lore.
That's for me. Super knows how to install a toilet main. All they know is killing in white uniforms.
All right, so they bring in independent contractors. Why are you so upset at its destruction?
All those innocent contractors brought in to do the job were killed. Casualties of a war they had nothing to do with. All right, look. You're a roofer. Some juicy
Brian's
government
nodding at
contract
that.
comes your way.
This is a good point.
Wasn't so lucky.
Oh yeah, eat another Twinkie.
Contractors working
Get the whole thing in there. Hell
Donuts,
yeah.
powdered donuts, I think.
The powdered donuts? He's locked up so many times. The store is more closed than open.
that's Walt Flanagan, one of their friends as well. He was in earlier. He bought the pack of cigarettes after the
West isn't going.
demonstration.
Oh, that's funny.
He's one of the. He works for him at the comic book place. He's the manager of Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Do you have that one
Who was that guy who was in that movie that came out last year?
They never rent quality flicks. They always pick the most intellectually devoid movie on the racks.
Ooh, Navy SEAls. That's a joke because that was RST Video's highest rented movie that particular year.
He was so jazzed about the lasagna.
He was.
He was like fucking Garfield.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Where do you think they're gonna play?
Outside? Oh, inside.
My list is tired.
I gotta tell you, my friend, this is one
Outside.
of the ballsiest moves I ever been privy to. I would have never thought you capable of such a blatant.
Hey, that's not big enough for everyone.
Hey, I told Maddie.
Is that the Russian friend with the CCCP shirt on?
No, that's Randall. I think has the
Oh, okay.
deep.
Thought it was Olaf.
That's also Scott Mosier with his beard shaved.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he looks like he could have been on like Beverly Hills 90210. Oh, is that a reference
like-
you guys don't get? Oh, sorry.
I thought it was one of the sons from Home Improvement. Jonathan Taylor Thomas or something.
He's the one who played Simba, right?
Shit, did he play Simba?
Yeah, he was Simba in the animated, the young Simba.
Oh, damn.
I know what that sound signifies.
What a dick.
Yep.
I told him there's no fat on my body.
No fat. No tone either. You don't get enough exercise.
You open?
Yes.
Just paper.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Say you're ashamed. You know you're out of shape. There.
That guy drives the biggest truck you've ever seen.
But it's nighttime. You don't go to the beach at night unless this is like a Jaws scenario.
I know, you can like see outside. It is pitch black.
I love these little vignettes of like Jay and Bob.
Yeah.
They're not story movers or anything like that. It's just giving you an idea of what's going on outside.
And then Kevin Smith never took that jacket off again.
Pretty much not in any movie that has Jay and Silent Bob in it.
It's just
Dante's kind of a shithead.
Yeah.
You'll get over it. Oh, the key word here is talk, Dante. I think the idea or the conception of us dating is a lot more idyllic than what actually happened.
Don't you like all the words I've been saying to you?
Pretend over the phone we're dating?
But what about your lasagna?
What the hell's your problem?
That chip's gonna get so soggy. It's just sitting in the salsa.
She'll feel better.
Tyra.
Oh no, she does a lot for you.
She's my girlfriend.
Especially that lasagna. That was a great lasagna.
Eating shit. Shit, my grandma used to say what's
At work.
Lasagna.
Cheat on me.
The real tragedy about all this is I'm not even supposed to be here today. Fuck you.
You're closed.
All right, guys. So that was Clerks.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
Yeah, I really liked it. I think that the whole time it felt very much like growing up. I used to make like home videos with my friends. We had like a little like cassette tape camera, and we did stop motion with Lego, and we did a lot of like outdoor stuff, and then later when I was in a band, we like filmed all of our own music videos, and they all had like a story behind it. So watching this, even though I didn't know anything about it, felt very nostalgic to me,
right?
Because you could feel all the and it was weird too, because it felt nostalgic to the point of like, I could do that.
Yep, totally.
But then as I was watching the movie, I was like, I couldn't do that. It was clear by the end of it that it was someone who was very fucking good with not very good equipment or actors. So it was just like a dude and his friends who wrote a very good story. The dialogue was fantastic. Yeah. And there was actually snappy, like shots here and there that I was like, that's a really good shot. And it's all just like this black and white, super grainy, very low budget, but like the work that he put into it was like, it was clear that he was a different level, or the folks who made it were just at a different level than the equipment that they had to work with. Yeah. So like the nostalgia was there, but there was also this like, damn, they did a really good job with what they had.
It was like professional level of something that you want to make yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Even like going into the funeral home, like that was like, we would do shots like that when we would film stuff where it was like, well, we can't go inside, so we just won't show what happens. Like we'll just do the walking in and running out. Right. And you don't show anything in between because you don't actually get in the building. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Quick fact before Joe, you say anything about it. The black and white. The reason the movie's in black and white is because Kevin Smith could not afford color film. Black and white film is so much cheaper.
I figured that maybe like 20, 30 minutes in, I was like, maybe it's cheaper. Maybe the black film's cheaper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One review of the movie, someone actually said, and this is a story that I actually heard Kevin Smith say recently, but one review of the film said, he filmed it in black and white to show you, to make you feel that it was the perspective of the security camera inside the store. And he was like, we couldn't afford it, but ever since then, I was just like, we did it so we could feel like the perspective of the security camera.
I love that.
Yeah, he is an amazing storyteller. So, Joe, what did you think?
I did like it too.
You could, let's see. I was trying to figure out if there was like more to it than just the, working, being
day in the life sort of stuff.
Yeah, day in the life. But I ended up really liking that because it's so like grounded and down to earth, and you can connect to it really.
Refreshing that it doesn't go a whole different random
exactly.
path.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take off and have this like, oh, there was a robbery and they have to find out who did it or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting that you mentioned that is that where the movie ends, where Randall pulls the sign down and gives them it and says, "You're closed." Yeah. The original cut of the movie actually ends with Dante closing the shop. Someone comes in. He says, "Hey, we're closed." Guy pulls out a gun, shoots him, steals the actual cash, and takes off, and Dante dies.
Oh.
And one of the someone that he kind of met while starting this putting this around like film festivals, literally was like when they finished the film and they rented out a theater before it ever went to a festival, and it was like they all showed it and they were like, "Hey, independent film playing here," and this dude came in who wasn't part of their group, and he was like, I don't remember if he was a reviewer or how he was associated, but he watched he might have been like an actual like independent reviewer, but he told Kevin afterwards, he was like, the movie's great, but cut that shit out at the end. He's like, end it here.
Yeah. Okay.
And that he was like, then you've got, that's what makes this pick. That's what makes this movie.
Okay,
you end it here. It's too gloomy. You threw the gloom in to throw the gloom in. He wasn't supposed to be here today, and he gets killed.
Right. Yeah.
And it's such a thing that like I would have written into, if I had written a story like that, I would be like, and then the surprise at the end, but you don't need it. And
no.
So that is one thing though that was part of the original story, is this ending that is actually a huge downer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought the twist was going to be that Randall and Dante got together at the end. I was sort of like waiting for that because I feel like he hinted at it like a little bit.
I think that Randall does love Dante.
Yeah.
But I don't think he loves him necessarily.
Yeah, it's probably
like-
just like a fraternal
Yeah,
sort of.
It's almost how Jay and Silent Bob. In later films, Jay introduces himself. I'm Jay, and this is my hetero life mate, Silent Bob. It's almost kind of like that's Dante and Randall.
Cool.
So are you confirming there's a Clerks 2?
I will confirm to you actually that before Clerks 2 happened, there was a Clerks animated series that starred both of them. It was
Both of them, Dante and Randall?
Dante and Randall, Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran reprised the role, and Alec Baldwin was the secret billionaire of Leonardo, New Jersey, and it was more fantastical and had much more of a animated
Amazing
series
Yeah,
to
That's
it.
cool.
Super funny. I rewatched it again a few years ago. It's great. And then Clerks 2 came out, where they are working at a Mooby's fast food restaurant.
That's where I've seen it.
That's
That's
where
where
you've
I've seen the clips.
Yes. And then
Were they wearing blue and yellow?
I think it's purple and yellow, but
Oh, okay. I'm colorblind. It's okay.
yeah, it's close. And then after that, and I know we're going franchise talk here, but super quick is they originally planned a third movie, and Brian O'Halloran has always been down for it, but Jeff Anderson and Kevin Smith had a bit of a falling out, and the script really wasn't up to what they wanted it to be, and Jeff really didn't. He's not an actor. He does these movies for Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
So he really wasn't into it, and he and Kevin Smith had a bit of a falling out. And I don't think it was last year. Might have been last year or the year prior, but Kevin Smith had a massive heart attack recently, and it was actually he should have died. They call the particular artery that was clogged. They call this the Widowmaker.
Widowmaker, yeah.
Yeah, and he survived. He changed his lifestyle around. He lost a lot of weight. He became vegan. So he had a falling out with Ben Affleck and Jeff Anderson. He made up with Ben Affleck recently, and he was in the reboot of the Jay and Silent Bob movie. But at a recent convention, Jeff Anderson was there, and Kevin Smith was there, and they kind of made their way to each other, and he chatted him up. He was like, "Hey, kind of miss you." And he was like, I want to do Clerks 3. I want to finish off our trilogy. And he and Jeff Anderson came up with the story.
That's cool.
And he was like, I'm on board. Let's do it. So it's confirmed that Clerks 3 is going to happen, and it is going to close out a trilogy of the movies. I'm pretty stoked. I'm not going to lie.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So let's wrap back down to see this, because it'll be interesting to see how almost a 28-year progress is gonna happen with this. We're going down to the beginning. This had so many cool pop culture references to it. It had...
Yeah, I didn't react during the movie because I was so engrossed, but I didn't know that Jay and... I've never seen Jay and Silent Bob. I know that there is another movie, and I know that there was a recent reboot. I had no idea that they came from this.
Yes, and this
that was really wild when they first popped up on screen. I was like, oh shit, that's them.
And Jay and Silent Bob are actually in... Let's see. This is a franchised sort of universe. There's before the Marvel movies, there was the View Askew universe. He quoted it that. So it's Clerks, then Mallrats, then Chasing Amy, then Dogma, then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That was like the last Jay and Silent Bob movie in that universe. And then we got them in a movie that was at this point, and I really hope we get to see it, but Kevin Smith made a Canada trilogy that were not linked together. They were linked together for these movies, but he brought Jay and Silent Bob back, and it was called Moose Jaws. It was Jaws, but with a moose.
Love it.
Literally. And Jay and Bob play Quint. They play the Quint character together,
nice.
But Quint dies. So supposedly in the movie, Silent Bob gets eaten by the moose. He gets killed. But that movie was filmed but never came out. And then they did the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So we just saw that movie. I'm really hoping to see Moose Jaws at some point.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it on Disney Plus.
Oh, it's so great.
I've never heard of Jay and Silent Bob before.
Really?
This is my introduction to them.
Oh, really?
That is phenomenal. Yeah.
I know nothing about them besides now, but
just a couple of drug dealers who are supporters in his movies until Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, and they get their own feature, and they go on a zany adventure trying to stop Hollywood from making a superhero movie about them. In Chasing Amy, someone writes a comic and used them as the basic of Blunt Man and Chronic. And Hollywood wants to make it. They want to stop it because they're not getting any money from it.
Interesting.
And the Jay and Silent Bob reboot is a literal reboot of that movie, just diversely changed. Hollywood wants to reboot the Blunt Man and Chronic movie, and they go to stop it. It's actually pretty funny because it's very nostalgic. And I don't want to talk too much on the whole franchise because we'll have to cut it.
And this stemmed all from this movie, Clerks.
Clerks is the first.
That's so
cool.
funny.
Yeah, Jason Mewes, who plays Jay, he was this wild child that when Kevin Smith was working at the rec for kind of like Parks and Rec, it was like a place for young kids to hang out, kind of like a YMCA sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, like a rec center.
Yeah, rec center. Yeah, he worked at the rec center, and Mewes.
And then he
was
made
there.
this movie to save the rec center.
Yeah, Jason Mewes was there, and he was just a wild, I'm talking ADHD, wild child kid. I highly recommend, if you found some enjoyment to this dialogue, to this, Kevin Smith is such an incredible storyteller. He has a series of videos, and you can watch them on YouTube. You can watch everything. It's like Evening with Kevin Smith. He just goes places and tells stories about how he's been involved. His story of first meeting Jay, so awesome. His story about Prince, like the artist Prince, hired him to make a documentary about him and never released it. And he's like Prince talking to him, just amazing conversations. Kevin Smith was hired to write the Superman Lives movie with Nick Cage that Tim Burton was directing.
Oh my God.
And the story of the producer, John Peters, asking him to read the draft to him while he lays on a couch, going with his director hands up, like he's making a screen in his mind. So awesome. The guy is so compelling the way he tells his stories.
That's cool.
I've seen him live once before, and he actually is going to be in Hartford at the Bushnell in a few months doing his Jay and Silent Bob reboot roadshow, where he'll go to the Bushnell, he'll show the movie, and he'll do a live Q&A right after.
Okay.
Oh wow.
He's been phenomenal.
We'll have to fly over to Hartford.
Yeah, it's actually going to be, I'm sure it'll be great because he is, again, masterful storyteller. And he just seems so friendly. You could just chat with him, man. Just go on and he'll
cool.
go. Big influence for my life too, honestly.
Yeah.
Been a huge fan. So
Kevin Smith, he was in the movie. He was Silent Bob. Who's the other?
Jay.
No. Oh. Was there someone else involved with writing? Wasn't there another
producing partner? Scott Mosier.
Okay.
Scott Mosier was Snowball. The kind of hippie-ish
that's right.
dude.
Okay,
and he was the random dude the dickhead who shot the hockey ball.
Yeah,
off
that's
the-
right. Because he shaved and then he was that guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah,
hockey,
that's right. That's
the
right.
hockey
Okay.
ball is that?
It was
what
a hockey ball.
It's a hockey ball.
We were playing with a ball.
It was a ball for hockey.
I guess that's what you'd use for street hockey, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't use a puck.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm not a sport boy. I
Well,
don't
sometimes there are pucks that have ball bearings on them, so they roll
slide.
kind
Oh,
of.
that's
They
pretty cool.
slide.
Yeah, you want to have more of an authentic experience.
Because then you can still whip it off your stick. It spins off your stick. Yeah.
And then you don't have to say stuff like hockey ball, which just sounds
hockey
weird.
ball. So yeah, essentially though, like Brian had said though, this is a collection. He did do auditions for the movie, so I think the two girls, Caitlin and Veronica.
Yeah.
I believe they were they auditioned for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but most of the people in the movie are locals from town.
Even the guy who played Dante.
Dante, if I remember correctly, Brian O'Halloran. I think he knew Kevin Smith a little bit, but he was the Leonardo, New Jersey Players, local theater, community theater kind of thing.
It seemed like him and the two girlfriends. They seemed like the three with
the best acting experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Everyone else sort of had weird delivery of the lines,
and it would stop for a split second before delivering a word because they would like have to remember the line.
Or
Yeah.
even flub a line a little and just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I also felt, and I think that happened accidentally, but I think it was kept in there because it felt real.
It felt real.
Conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's how people talk.
I think the
So,
star really was Jeff Anderson, the guy who played Randall.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
again, and just him and Dante, they're even the girls, their dialogue, the banter was so quick and
Yes.
it hit so well. And I have to say too, I love the fact that Kevin Smith can write for a female.
Oh yeah.
I think it was believable, and I don't think it was too male perspective. So I always gave him credit for that, because that's something that you kind of don't see a lot of good writing.
Interesting.
Like this, you know,
Yeah.
without having a female writer.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Not to say that Kevin Smith writes phenomenal female dialogue, but I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
I think he did great.
No, I think it was good.
But yeah, what a flick. Definitely cool. So Mallrats jumps to a much more goofy, zany comedy.
Okay.
Same deal. Two good friends that are guys go and they have girl problems, and they go to the mall and they try to fix their problems, and it's like a crazy adventure.
Yeah.
He goes back to form and much more independent with Chasing Amy with Ben Affleck, actually. Another really great story, but gets a lot of shit too, and he kind of course corrects a little bit of the dialogue and the line as some of what happens in Reboot, so it's cool. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, that's out like right now, or that's around, is like just a huge nostalgic, like even a like plot hole filler for certain things.
Okay.
It's pretty wild.
Cool.
Good connection. So we watched the movie. You guys enjoyed it. What did you guys think doof meter wise? Like, where would you place this on the doof meter? Remembering, again, we go doof meter by pop culture and things like that. And
That's true.
whether how you enjoyed
Essential viewing.
Essential viewings, yeah.
Yep.
So, right off the bat, you got our patented, trademarked doof meter. 1 on the doof meter, I could have survived. I didn't need to see this movie. 5, it's essential viewing. I'm a doof. I should have seen this earlier. Now, before I get your doof things, I am going to try to...
That sounds like a sway.
I'm going to
sounds
try
like
to sway, and I'm going to say again that this movie was one of the essential movies for the independent movement.
Keyword there, essential.
Essential.
There's a couple of things before we go into rating. I think it's Joe's turn to start off the rating anyways, but his whole "I shouldn't even be here today" catchphrase.
Yep.
I've heard that before too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what from. I tried to Google search while we were watching it because I was like, what else? But I couldn't find anything on a cursory search of like who's used that reference.
I'm positive that Steve Klein's, someone we work with, has said that aloud to us in the past year.
Okay, so maybe that's where I'm getting the
No,
reference from.
I
is
definitely
literally like,
no, I definitely agree. I've seen it like in media before, like in a book or in a movie or in a show. Like, I shouldn't even be, like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
yeah, like I feel like cartoons or something. But the other one was the chapter sort of like titles. I don't know if that is like I don't know if this movie started that or not. But was that something that he took? Because that's like Pulp Fiction, which came out after this, I believe, or same time,
Same year.
did that
before.
with in between all the slots.
I was trying to figure
you know what I mean?
out
Where it goes cuts to black and it's got like
Yeah.
the title card for each like section.
Yep.
But that's also seemed very like I've seen that in a lot of stuff before. And I don't know if he borrowed that. I'm assuming probably from like silent films.
Yeah,
think he
I was gonna say
yeah.
it felt like it was super old school.
Yeah.
Essentially, the movie, what it was when he was writing it, was he was writing a bunch of short scenes
Yeah.
that ended up what he did. He wrote these short scenes and he put them together to be one full day.
Yeah.
So each scene had its own title as to what that scene essentially was about, what it contained in a way.
Yep.
So that was kind of like the whole part of the chapters.
Cool.
All right. Doof meter. I'm going to give it a 3. I was originally going to say 2, unfortunately. I was going to say 2 originally, but I don't know. I ended up enjoying it a lot more, like, especially in the last, like, I don't know. It started off kind of slow. It's like, all right, where are they going with this? And then I kind of, like, got it maybe, like, 30, 40 minutes in, and then I started to enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
3 because I totally believe you and that this was like essential and essential in the indie film like boom. Because I take your word that it was one of the first like big indie film movements. Hey, you can make a film without having this huge budget, and so yeah, 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
You swayed me up to a 4.
Wow.
But I was gonna go with 3 initially. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where like I 100% believe that it was the inspiration for a lot of independent films. Like I felt nostalgic and I didn't even know anything about this before going into it. And then on top of that, like seeing like Jay and Silent Bob, which is another reference that I've seen, and little lines here and there. It was feel like I definitely should have seen this before. But I haven't seen a ton of things from it in pop culture, I guess.
Yeah, that was my only like caveat there is I don't think I've seen any. The only thing I've seen is Jay and Silent Bob like dancing, like him putting down the boombox and then them like dancing.
Yeah, there's definitely like a GIF of that. Or something.
That's like the only little like pop culture reference I've seen. Yeah,
nice. And of course, you know, if I was a doof, I would say 5 on the doof meter.
Your patented,
should have seen it.
Your patented Drew feels left out meter. Patented.
So yeah, I think regardless if you feel like it you should have seen it earlier or not, it definitely is a movie that plays to that nostalgia. It just always, I remember when I saw it the first time, I remember saying like, I could try to do this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
I want to.
Totally. I was watching it. I was like, oh, I could do this. I was like, we could do this. Yeah.
And you know, it takes something special really to make you feel like you can really do something like that. And it's something we probably can't do. But man, does it make you feel like you can try and succeed. This is like, again, Kevin Smith is such an awesome success story in life. He really is. Like, started at, like, not at the bottom. Not going to say, like, he was, like, a sewer rat or anything like that. But Kevin Smith was leading a perfectly normal, non-privileged life. And he took something that he loved and he made something incredible that got him started in an industry that is nearly impossible to get into. So for me, I have so much love and respect for the movie, and I will tell you guys too, on this 10th anniversary edition of the DVD, there's an outstanding documentary called The Snowball Effect, and it's the making of Clerks from Kevin Smith basically being born to the point where they sell Clerks at Sundance to
awesome.
the Weinsteins. Wah, wah.
Oh, no.
But yeah, phenomenal.
Hey, I mean,
So many terrible people make movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that it might be really fun just to pull back the curtain when this episode goes live. I think it might be cool. I think all 3 of us have talked before about making home movies when we were younger, and like
I have a DVD case. I have like a bunch of commercials and stuff. Like, yeah,
we should each find one.
I should try to find some. Oh my gosh!
And try to get it posted for when this goes out, just out of tribute. Because I think that's what made it so special for me. It was like, this is what I would have, like, what I wanted to do when I was younger. Like, I think it's really, really, really neat. Joe, what was your favorite scene?
Ooh, favorite scene. I really two stand out to me. One is when what was the name of the second girl they brought in? Claire.
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
I really liked the conversation of Caitlin and Dante. When she was basically describing, I left school, I came up here for you. Like, it was very, like, back and forth, like, how do they each feel? Like, first he was just talking to her, and then she was like, and then...
That was a lengthy piece of dialogue, and that was one shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it there was a whole story in it. Like, there was like... him asking her if they can be together and her shooting him down, and then it ended up being like her asking him if they could be together and him kind of jokingly like playing it off, and then they ended up like deciding to go on a date. I really like that scene. It was really like fluid and a lot of emotion in it, and it was very like natural and down to earth. And also the scene at the very end after they had fought Dante and
Veronica.
No, his
Randall.
Yeah, Randall.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Wendell, but I was like,
it's
no, not Wendell.
Wendell Graves.
Dante and Randall, right after they fought and had the candy fight, they were sitting like in the piles of candy, and Randall was just like, kind of like throwing candy at Dante and being like, why do you think you're like better than everyone, and like really like bringing him down to earth again. And I don't know. It was a nice little
finally telling him to take some responsibility.
Yeah. It was, and for both of them too. He was like talking to himself too. It wasn't just yelling at Dante. So both those scenes. Yeah.
Both of those scenes are the ones where I noticed like, oh damn, this is some good dialogue.
Yeah.
This is really good writing. I think it was for me. It was the roof hockey scene, only because I'm like I've never worked like live retail. I worked as a dishwasher, and I worked at a cook in a kitchen in a local restaurant. It was like a locally owned place, so we had even less rules than most places. And we would do shit like that. Like we had like a big skylight above our dining room at the restaurant, and we had to go up on the roof and put a tarp over it one time because it was leaking. But during like a really bad snowstorm one year, there was this one guy that we worked with that we really like. He kept calling himself Teflon because nothing sticks to me, man. You can't cut me. Teflon, baby. And me and one of the other cooks were like, fuck, we got to get this guy. So we snuck up to the roof, and we were going to shovel snow on top of him as he was trying to leave for the night. And we got the pizzeria guy next door. We were like, let us know when he goes outside. So he gave us the thumbs up, and we started shoveling, and we heard, oh no. And it was one of our older women who worked as a server, and we just pummeled her with snow.
Oh no!
We brought her we worked with her the next day, and we brought her flowers. And she was like, "I forgive you." I went home, and my husband was like, "You were probably in their way. They were probably cleaning the roof." And we were like, "No, we were just trying to fuck this one guy up with snow." And there's like a bunch of shit that we used to do, and so them playing hockey on the roof was very like nostalgic for me. That was like the place that I used to work at, and
that's cool.
I thought that was neat. It was the scene I most related to, I guess.
Nice.
Drew, what was your favorite scene?
Oh, that's so funny you ask. It's like, it's difficult for me because, yeah, there's scenes that pop for me, like little things that I've always loved that you just pick up low key in the background, or just like hear like the way Randall talks to customers. Yeah. With a cute cat. What's his name? Annoying customer. Fucking dickhead. The guy like walks out. Or like just the Star Wars conversation was great.
Yeah.
That was another like.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That was a good one, and I believe. Oh man, I hope I got this right, but in one of his conversations, or in one of his commentary, which by the way, Kevin Smith does amazing commentaries on his movies, but I think he said that discussion actually basically got him another job. Like I think that's the discussion that got him like Superman Lives or something, where like he knows a lot about comics and sci-fi. Like so, like it's cool. Just funny. Like that conversation was a really cool one.
Yeah.
What did we get right? Our guesses.
Let's take a look.
Let's roll through those real quick.
First guess, which you did redact, but is still here, was that they work for a fast food place, Goodburger, Mondo Burger, but they have blue and yellow striped outfits.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Then we got.
They might.
They
We
just-
don't know.
maybe
I'm pretty
they
sure
just
there
didn't
is
wear them.
yellow. Yeah, I think there's yellow. I think it's like a purple and yellow, if I remember correctly, at movies.
I mean,
which
that was just a black and white joke I was making.
Well, speaking of black and white,
We don't know. We don't know.
Good one.
that was your next guess, Brian. Was I think this movie's in black and white.
And yeah, for the viewers, the whole movie was in black and white.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes, 'cause maybe
no
goes to
Oz
color.
sequence.
Yes. You guessed that it would take place in 1994. It was never established, but that is the time frame
Yep.
it takes place in present day to when
Cool.
the movie came out. In some no-name small town, Leonardo, New Jersey it's a real town, New Jersey, but it is still a very small town.
No name, small town.
A lot of people actually go visit the Quick Stop and take pictures in front of it.
Oh, cool.
I actually have a couple pictures from almost 10 years ago. I took a trip down there in 2011. Went to see the Quick Stop, RST Video, and went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash in Red Bank.
Nice,
So
nice.
it's pretty cool.
It's really a shame that Leonardo, New Jersey keeps getting nominated for Oscars but never wins one. Always disappointed.
Well,
Well, he just won one recently.
Yeah, it won one.
Yeah.
You might win a second one this year.
Hopefully.
And it was not a fast food restaurant. It was a small little.
Convenience
the little
store.
Convenience store.
Yes,
yeah.
Little
which
convenience
is
store.
a little lower here. Onion ring. One ring to rule them all.
There was
not
no
happen.
that didn't happen.
Did not happen in Clerks 1.
It's
Oh.
probably happens in Clerks too.
I
It's
will
gotta-
not tell you anymore, but I will just say did not happen in Clerks 1. All right, you guys guessed that this was a comedy / dark comedy, would be funny yet uncomfortable / depressing. I think you hit the
that's
nail right on the
I
head.
think we got that.
I mean,
totally.
Dante was not supposed to be there today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
All
a
day.
bunch of shit kept on happening to him. Yeah,
The next one I had here was convenience store, which is absolutely accurate. Convenience store. Two male main characters. Kevin Smith is one of the two clerks. So, not in the movie, but in real life, Kevin Smith was the Dante character.
Okay.
So
So we're like at a 0.5 there.
you're at a 0.5, and Kevin Smith was a two male character combo,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
but not what you meant.
Yep.
Want to do more with my life kind of movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It kinda
Down. I
was.
think he had to realize that by the end of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But I think by him saying in the beginning too, like, I hate this place and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He wants to do something more, but doesn't have the drive to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what the whole movie was like, finding himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because he wrote this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Maybe a crime happens in the store and they go on a wacky adventure.
So
So defend it, because I think
I'm going to defend this. A crime does happen in the store. They sell cigarettes to a 4-year-old. That's
Yep.
a crime.
that's a crime.
And
Two. Go ahead.
God,
a girl has sex with a dead man.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a wacky
That's
adventure.
definitely a crime.
that's I'd say a crime. I would call
Okay.
the wake.
I thought that was a wacky
No,
adventure.
no, I would call.
You know, one of those wacky
And that's a
adventures where you
I mean, I would say more going to the wake was the wacky adventure.
Oh, yeah, that's
but,
true. Yeah.
wake
yeah.
cocky on the roof. There's
You
some
know.
wacky adventures all around,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Sex with a dead guy is a wacky adventure.
So wacky.
I mean, so the two clerks are great friends, and
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
great friends.
They will still be clerks at the end of the film.
Totally.
They totally were.
Yep.
And finally, the last guess: someone has superpowers
Ah, damn, no one had superpowers.
that we know of.
The guy who hit the hockey ball hit it pretty far.
I'm not gonna give that one to you.
I don't know. I think the
honestly.
guy inspecting the eggs, he's hiding something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think you did a good job. You did a pretty good amount of guessing for a movie you really had no idea what it was going to be about. You nailed down some good stuff. I would say more than 3/4 of what you said there was accurate.
Awesome.
Nice. Thanks.
And if you, and I'm saying you, the listener, think that we did a good job or a bad job, you can let us know at Reel Doofs on Twitter. That's RealReel Doofs on Twitter. And we're also at Reel Doofs on Instagram and on Facebook, where you can check out videos that we post and behind the scenes pictures, and you can check out a lot of our fan drawings on Instagram. Right now, 99% of those fan drawings are drawn by Drew.
Our number one fan.
Our number one fan.
I'm a big fan.
So you can check those out. Some of my favorites. So I can talk about my favorite, your fan drawings on our goddamn podcast if I want to. Lava Bucket's real good. I really like Ale of Bean.
Yep.
Those get a 5 on my doof meter.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Like, Joe's freaking out here. The dog is.
This is episode 8. I can self-indulge whenever I want to now.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been super cool to make these. I'm having a blast just getting to catch up on these classic movies. And it's really fun. And if you like it, please leave us a review on iTunes, because the more reviews we get, the better it looks for us. Yeah, and it's just cool to hear your feedback and stuff. We've gotten some really good feedback and some really helpful feedback. So,
hey, we have a Facebook page now, too.
Yeah, I thought I said that, but yeah, we have a Facebook page.
No.
Like us on Facebook.
Oh yeah, he said it. He said
No
it.
way.
Wait.
He just kept talking about Twitter.
No,
and
he
our
said
artwork.
Instagram and Facebook.
What?
Let's hang on. Let's rewind the tape.
Let's rewind.
I like Facebook. No, yeah.
He did say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
God damn it, what are we doing? Yeah, we do have a Facebook, though. That's relatively new, so check us out on there. I guess we'll post content there, too. So wherever you want to follow us, you can follow us, and we'll try to get more behind-the-scenes stuff.
Just
and more
not in
videos
real life.
Please don't follow us in real life.
Yeah, mainly I'd suggest, though, if you actually do enjoy these and like these, please actually like them, follow us, because we want to keep doing this for you guys. We like doing it for ourselves, honestly, but the more people who actually show that they want to hear us talk about this,
the more we'll want to do it.
Yeah, the more we'll want to do it. So, yeah, let us know that you actually like it. Throw suggestions at us. I've had a couple people say some things they want us to watch, and guess what? Some movies have now been added to our list. So, interact with us, please.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going with the opposite approach. Don't. I think we're sounding too desperate, and I don't want you to interact with us.
Cool. Well, all right, guys. It's getting late. I think I need to ask you to leave. So,
right.
Brian, my favorite part of this is when you usually quote the movie, but I don't think you have any good quotes to lay down.
I don't, and I'm not even supposed to be here today.
You know what?
Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
I thought he was
That was perfect.
I thought he was going to Drew, you're number 38 to me.
I was gonna say we're closed now.
Yes.
But
Sure,
yours is
we're
better.
closed.